It is right now January 30th, and I feel like I am entering a book slump. I have felt this way for like the last 3 books that I've read. I've DNF'd 2 books recently. I DNF'd Anxious People, and then I also DNF'd Butter. Both of those books, I wasn't in the mood to read the books, but I just like could not connect to the characters. It felt like words on paper. And right now at the library, I finally got my copy of God of the Woods. I say finally very loosely because I have been pushing off this hold and giving it to the next person in line for like a month now. And because I've been doing that for so long, I finally decided that I just needed to read it. This is a kind of like summer camp. One of the campers goes missing, and it's supposed to be this thriller mystery type of story. And I have a love-hate relationship with thriller mysteries in the first place. I'm right now on page 92, 21% through the book, and I've not like grasped onto the story. I feel like I'm reading words on pages. I know you understand because obviously you're watching this video, you like reading too, but for a normal person, they're like, what the fuck? So today's video, we are going to try and get out of a book slump. And it's not necessarily that I'm fully in a book slump, but I don't want to pick up books to read. I don't have that urge to read in my free time. All I want to do is doom scroll. All I want to do is watch YouTube videos. But honestly, like being on social media and everything going on in the world, it's really affecting my mental health. I really want to try and reignite my love for reading. So we are going to be doing a couple things in this video, but starting off with mood reading, like directly what I want to read at that moment. Even if tomorrow I wake up and I want something else, then we're going to read something else. That is why half the time I'm reading 4 books at one time, but I'm a mood reader to my core. That will never change. So right now I'm really feeling I want to read a romance. I don't have a lot of romances on my physical TBR, and also, this is really weird. I've never felt like this, but I also think reading on my Kindle is putting me in a slump. Usually it's the opposite. Usually I want to read on my Kindle and not read a physical book, but I actually want to be reading and holding a physical copy. So I decided to pick a book off of my TBR. I actually just recently got this book, and I think this is one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. I believe this is technically a fantasy romance. It has romance as the genre, but our main character, I believe, falls into a fantasy world within this tarot card, and it's kind of like an enemies to lovers. She's with this ruthless warrior, and she has to pretend to be his wife. Very excited to try this one. This is just like what I'm being called to read right now. Being called is a funny use of words because it's a book about tarot cards. I'm very intrigued with reading this one right now. So that's what we're gonna do. It's right now like 6:30. I need to make dinner in a little bit, but what I want to do is hopefully just sit for like a good hour, because I think that's also something that I've noticed lately is when I start a book, because always starting a book is a little bit harder. You have to pay a little bit more attention. You have to learn the characters, learn the relationship lines, everything like that. But if I sit down for a larger chunk of time when I first start a book, I'm going to enjoy it more than if I just read like the first chapter and then close it and then continue on later. We're gonna try and read this for the next hour and see how that goes. One thing too that I find always helps me focus a little bit more when I'm reading and feel a little bit more invested in the book itself is annotating. When I annotate, I'm really just like underlining quotes that I really liked, things like that. I know some people don't like to write in their books because a lot of people will sell their books to get money back to spend on more books, things like that. For me, I really want a library in my future house, future apartments, whatever. And so I don't really mind writing in my books because I keep them all anyways. So I think I need to go grab a pen. Let me go get my pen and I'll show you what pen I use to annotate. So my favorite pen to annotate books is the Pilot G2 .38. It's like the tiniest little thing. Also, what's really funny about reading this book, I have a lot of tarot cards. I used to read tarot cards like every single day, multiple times a day. I have a lot of like oracle cards. I have a lot of crystals. When I was in college, I was very, very into, you know, more spiritual things. I went through a really bad heartbreak and it kind of like disconnected me from everything, and I've just not gotten back into it, but I'm excited to read a story based on tarot cards. I think it's gonna be really interesting. So yeah. Our main character just walked into a metaphysical store, which if you don't know what that is, a store that sells spiritual witchy things, crystals, tarot cards, things like that. And the owner of the shop is just getting, she's having sex and didn't lock the store door. What is going on? I sent this book to my mom and I said, hey, because she's very spiritual too. I was like, hey, look what I got. Isn't this such a cute cover? And my mom was like, I want to read that. Love you, Mom. You're never getting this book from me. What the is happening? It's the first 2 pages. I feel like I also can't skip this scene because like I don't know the characters yet. Am I gonna miss something? What is happening? We're not even 5 pages into the book. This is crazy. Oh my God. Hi everyone, it is Friday, January 31st, and I finished The Empress today. I have to be completely honest, I gave this a 2.75. This book is a very fast read. It is one of those books that it's not necessarily a good book. Like it's kind of a trashy romance. It's very smutty, very, very fast paced. It's like 380 pages, but the font is so big. It's so fast to read. And it's not one of those books that's amazing and I'm gonna think about every day for the rest of my life, but it did what it needed to do. I really just needed something that was fast and I didn't need a lot of brain power for, and for that I'm grateful. I did, while I was reading this, really enjoy picking up the story and I wanted to read, so that is a plus. I need to keep reading and we need to keep trying to actively get out of a book slump. So we're not stopping here. I've been seeing this book go around. Bookstagram is kind of where I've been seeing this book a lot. If I can open this box. And if there's anything that you need to know about me, I love figure skating. When I was younger, I used to have this like sweatsuit, like Juicy Couture ripoff sweatsuit from Justice, and it literally had an ice skate. It was blue. Mom, if you're watching this and you remember, I loved that. And I used to go to the ice rink. I used to make my parents take me to open skate. I love figure skating. It is the most beautiful sport. And there is a book that came out. Oh, I bought an SD card. That's not important. Oh, I'm so excited that I'm finally holding this book. I will say it did come ripped and not that big of a deal. I've been seeing everyone talking about this book. This is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I've never read anything by her, but this is a story of these 2 figure skaters who have just this insane chemistry. I can't think of the 2 figure skaters that I'm thinking of, but they're the brunette figure skaters. They were either Canadian or American US figure skaters. I'll put them on the screen. I am just picturing a story with them as the main characters. I'm so excited. So I think we might start this tonight, but I've also heard that some people say that this is kind of similar to like a Daisy Jones and the Six, where it's interview style, it's past and present, and part of me really just wants to read a like trashy, fast-paced romance, like not necessarily smutty, but just like a giggly girly romance. I partly just really want to read that, so I might go to Target and see if I can find one that catches my eye, but if I don't, this is what we're gonna read. Isn't this cover beautiful? This is beautiful. I'm so excited. I don't know, I love any book that has to take place on an ice rink, whether it's figure skaters, hockey players, anything. Hi everyone, it is right now Saturday. I just got out of the gym, and last night when I left the gym, I just totally forgot to pick up a book at all. Like I just left the gym and went straight home. I'm gonna go look in the book aisle. I thought I could give a little update on this reading vlog, my book slump, whatever. I did end up getting a book the other day at Target. I ended up getting the book Collide. It is just a hockey romance book, and I've only gotten 40 pages into it. The pages that I have read have gone by really fast, so it's exactly what I need, but I just don't feel the urge to read. And I right now have a rest day from the gym. It's right now Monday. I just got done doing my grocery shopping, and I was gonna edit a video and like be super productive with my rest day, my extra time that I have, but I really just want to lay down with Stella and watch TV. I started watching Supernatural, so random. Like 2 weeks ago, I was watching The OC, and then Olivia Wilde is like a character in season 2, and I can't look at her face because I know too much about her versus the other characters in that show. Like obviously they're very popular, they're very famous people, but I don't see them as anything other than their characters. And so I stopped watching that, and then I started watching Supernatural. I'm right now on episode 11 of season 1, and like it's the only thing I can think about. The only 2 things that I can think about are the gym and Supernatural. And it's my rest day, and I'm really trying hard not to over push it. I don't want to go on my rest day, so I'm just gonna watch Supernatural. There's nothing in me that wants to read this right now, so we're gonna listen to our body. Yeah, that's all I have to say for an update. Unfortunately, not the update that I was hoping to give, but it's the update I have nonetheless. I think this is also like the reality of reading a lot of books is like reading, you're gonna have ebbs and flows of even wanting to pick up books and wanting to do other things. Like late last year, I really wanted to make it a priority to have a good balance with like my other hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies outside of reading. I feel like because of the amount of time it takes to read, and then also me having this channel, that I put a lot of my emphasis and time on reading as my main hobby, but it's not the only hobby that I have. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna sit down and watch Netflix and just relax. My brain right now feels dead because it was a really busy day at work, and I just kind of need a day to not do anything. I say as I need to do laundry and dishes today, but I always need to do laundry and dishes. I love being an adult. Hello. So I finished a book today. And you guys, I still feel like I'm in a reading slump. Absolutely no part of me wants to pick up a book and read. And I hate that feeling so much because at the same time that I feel like that, when I go a lot of days in a row without reading a book, I feel like a part of my personality is missing, which is probably not good. I did finally end up finishing the book Collide. Honestly, I don't really have many strong opinions for this book, partly because it took me so long to finish this, partly because, you know, we're doing this video, I'm in a reading slump, I just really don't care. It is a very fast pace. They're together within like the first 40% of the book. Hockey romance, very smutty, college set. So if you're into that, I would give this a chance. It reminds me a lot of the Maple Hills series. If you like that, maybe check this out. But I don't know. It just didn't feel like enough for me. And I wish that I could say I'm going to read another book in this video, but I really just don't feel the urge to read another book. And I've already been filming this video for like 2 weeks, even though you can't really tell. I will say I have the next book I'm gonna try and read in front of me, and I have a kind of like mindset I'm going into. So I started watching the show Supernatural. If you don't know what that is, it is a show from like the early 2000s, and it's all about these 2 siblings that are hunting ghosts and demons and all these things. And with that in my mind, because literally all I do lately is I go to work, I go to gym. I go to gym is crazy. Why do I sound like I'm a Ken doll saying what my job is? I go to work, I go to the gym, and then I come home and I watch Supernatural. So because I'm so obsessed with that show right now and that sort of like dark, grungy demons sort of thing, there's not like a connection to be made here, but kind of. The next book that I'm going to try and read is Throne of Secrets, which is the second book in this series. I don't know what this series is called, but it's like the adult version of the Kingdom of the Wicked series. This is about Prince Gluttony. I have heard some negative reviews about this, but I don't know. This feels like something that I could get into right now. I liked how fast-paced the romance was, but I need something with a little bit more plot to hopefully grab my attention. So we're gonna try this next. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna read that book in this video. That will be in another video. So unfortunately, this book slump is still beating my We will have to continue this in another video. I'm so sorry about the long jump in between uploads. I've just been in a weird headspace and I'm trying to get out of it. Thank you for watching if you're still on at this point, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in my next video, hopefully not in a reading slump. Who knows though?